So people often ask me, hey STIX, why do you cover so many crappy Asian MMOs like Noah's Heart, like Tower of Fantasy, like Grand Saga? They're all weeby anime trash that look and play like crap. And this right here is why I cover crappy Asian MMOs. In the short period that Noah's Heart has had their pre-registration open for, they have accumulated a grand total of 6,518,881 players interested in their game. For reference, Lost Ark was one of the largest MMO releases in recent memory, topping 1.3 million total concurrent players at its peak, with over 4.7 million total players registered and playing within a 3-day period. Not even Final Fantasy XIV managed to pull numbers like that on the launch day of Endwalker. Quick shout out to our patrons over on Patreon. This allows you to directly support us if you're interested. Every patron will have their name appear at the beginning of every single YouTube video, and you'll be immortalized in the MMO genre forever. Now, despite the gargantuan interest in Lost Ark, which was in no small part due to the extensive marketing Amazon did for the game, having streamers, having YouTubers, news websites all cover the game, Noah's Heart has its eyes set on absolutely dominating the market upon its release, shattering every record set before it, all while averaging a grand total of 2,120 followers on Twitter and 20 to 30 likes per tweet. 6.5 million registered interested players, and 2,000 of those 6.5 million interested players followed them across their socials. I don't know, call me skeptical here, but that sounds a little bit off to me, especially given the fact that Noah's Heart here joined Twitter 2 years ago and has therefore had years to garner a following online. Now, you know what, with this in mind, let's take a few moments here to compare this to several other games that were also announced recently that are going to be direct competition for this game. Here is Zenless Zone Zero, a game that was just announced. And in the 3-month period their Twitter has been online, they've accumulated 174,600 followers and averaged thousands of likes per tweet. But STIX, that's a Hoyo game. You can't go and compare a game like Noah's Heart to a game that is being actively developed by Hoyo. And you know what? You're right. That argument does hold some weight, which is why we have several different games here to compare this to. Here's Wuthering Waves, a brand new game revealed, last month? And in the month that the Twitter has been public, they have accumulated 34,600 followers and averaged thousands of likes per tweet. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm beginning to see a little bit of a pattern here, but you know what? This is just two separate individual games, not nearly close enough to being enough to really drive across my point here. Here's Arknight's Enfield, another gorgeous new anime game announced just a couple months back that has had their Twitter public for all of 2 months now. It has accumulated just shy of 50,000 followers, and in a shocking turn of events, averages thousands of likes per tweet. And you know what? All right. While all of these games were in fact announced over the course of the last few months, there is realistically only one game here that is true direct competition for Noah's Heart. Yes, all of these games are open world anime games, but Noah's Heart is also an MMO. So let's go ahead and compare this directly to an MMO that is also launching in the very near future at approximately the same time. Tower of Fantasy is an MMO that I've been hyping for over a year now. It's a game I both had a ton of fun in and simultaneously feel is going to underperform after players realize how different it is to traditional MMOs and how similar core systems are to Genshin. Nevertheless, in the few months their global Twitter has been public for, they've accumulated just shy of 70,000 followers and average, well, admittedly significantly less interaction than the aforementioned titles, but several hundred to several thousand likes per tweet, showing a growing interest in the game. And this is a bit of a strange occurrence. It's almost like these highly anticipated games have people not only following their social accounts, but also simultaneously actively engaging with the tweets that they're making. Compare that to the negligible sum that Noah's Heart have amassed, yet the overwhelming number of players that are supposedly interested in the game. Things just don't add up. Heck, even Artery Gear Fusion, a competing game that just launched last month, has 6,000 followers and averages hundreds of likes per tweet. And they only had approximately 500,000 players pre-register for their game leading up to their launch. That's less than 10% of the total that Noah's Heart has. Now, after Googling around a bit, I'm glad that I'm not the only person here that believes these numbers are a tad bit, unrealistic. That 6 million pre-registration is kinda sus to me, not gonna lie. Mainly for such a generic autoplay MMO with terrible UI filled with buttons for premium stuff. I just checked their website and their pre-registration counter increases every time I refresh the page. Someone who wants a top reward, botting it up maybe, or the company itself padding the numbers, who knows. That looks even jankier than Tower of Fantasy, a hard pass from me. Also, I have no respect to Tower of Fantasy after the whole asset drama. It's 99.99% fake. 6 million autoplay empty world that looks like a game from 2016. You know what, 2016 is actually being a little bit generous here. 6 million seems like a lot, don't you think? I haven't even heard of this game. Neither have people 5,990,000 that supposedly pre-registered. These are actually good. Tower of Fantasy can't even get that much. What a load of BS. But Tower of Fantasy will probably get around that much as well when they start altering the data on pre-registration page. Noah's Heart fakes pre-registration number. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you here. Tower of Fantasy very well might as well. These are both Chinese companies after all. Never ever heard about this game, and looks like a lot of people here are saying the same as well. I'm not believing the 6 million pre-registered, to be honest, and as you shouldn't. We totally had 6 million real people pre-registered, trust us guys. If you're gonna fake those pre-registration numbers, at least make it believable. Very true. Just wait a day or two and they'll get to 8 million pre-registration, obviously all humans. 6 million is too big of a number, said the guy with the small mustache. Oh man. Now, as is no doubt evident, many people believe that Archosaur Games, the team behind Noah's Art, are in fact fabricating these numbers, manually altering them periodically to achieve numbers that are just so unbelievable that it has left many of us, well, for lack of a better word, in disbelief. This is an MMO with no real direction, poor quality combat that is mostly autoplay, a pretty mediocre world design, and all around a subpar game. I'd say it's actually a step back from what Dragon Raja was. And there are 6 million people that are willing to play this. You jest. Now, there has been speculation that a lot of these pre-registrations came from TikTok, as Archosaur have been advertising the game over there, but do you mean to tell me that you go out of your way to navigate to their website to pre-register for a game and then not bother to follow their socials? Only 2,000 out of 6.5 million people actually follow them over on Twitter? Come on, what do you take us for? Yes, this could be the biggest MMO release of 2022 by far if these numbers are real, but at the same time, the odds are in favor of this being a massive marketing ploy that is about to blow up in their face. And I am personally more than happy to be covering it and to be bringing it to the attention of all of you, even if that means that the general Noah's Heart community, the fanboys over on their social media platforms, over on Discord, are going to pull out their pitchforks and attempt to crucify me. You know what else is new? Now, if you're looking for a list of MMOs that are actually decent alternatives to this, then I got a video for that over here, or if you're more interested in gacha games, I got you covered there too. What can I say? I'm just that talented.